Hello, everyone. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Noma Tea Festival. Welcome to my session Tea Cocktails with Horenzo Consulting. My name is Susanne and I will present you some tea cocktails today. I will tell you in a second a little bit more about myself. However, I want to do the first cocktail right away because it is made with ice cream and my ice cream is already a little bit melting. So for that one, I'm choosing just a very easy glass, tumbler glass, water glass, however you like to call it. And yes, I am making tea with ice cream. I have tried that last summer and I have realized that ice cream and tea is quite a nice combination. So what I'm doing here, let me just see that I can drop that in the glass. What I'm doing here is having some chocolate chip ice cream, or you can take some walnut ice cream, and I'm just putting that in the glass. And what I'm adding to it is a Darjeeling. I'm using Darjeeling tea from Darjeeling tea leaves. So I'm saying hi to Racho Lama as well from Darjeeling tea leaves. And this is actually a Sing Bully first flush Darjeeling. Right away, Darjeeling tea leaves. You might notice that my Darjeeling is darker. Darjeeling, the queen of tea, because it's very high grown and it's very delicate also in the flavor. I'm actually brewing all my teas today with 80 degrees and I'm brewing double tea, half the water. So I'm getting a stronger flavor and therefore the tea is also stronger. So what I do, I'm just adding the tea over the ice cream. And you have that. I promised you tea cocktails. So let me just go on my side table, which I have prepared right here. So I'm actually adding a little bit German schnapps, as you might have heard from my accent. I'm German. So I'm just adding a German schnapps. This is now a hazelnut schnapps. There you go. And you're ready with the first cocktail. If you like to, what I always like to do with my cocktails, I'm not sure if you can see the quality of the tea. I like to add just a little bit of the tea itself and maybe some mint leaves, which I have right here. And I would have the first cocktail. So it's a mix between the sweetness of the chocolate, the very light, delicate flavor of the Darjeeling, and actually then the schnapps. So first cocktail done. Let me just clear that up a little bit and bring the next thing over. And so now I have a little bit time to tell you about myself as well. Like I said, my name is Susan from Horenzo Consulting. You can see that here as well a little bit. So in December 2019, I decided to start my own consulting company for hotels and restaurants. I have worked for over 20 years in hotels and restaurants myself. And I always found that the communication between the employees and the management was sometimes a little bit lacking. And also there was never enough seminars which were be given to employees. So I always felt like there was a little bit lacking in most of the hotels and restaurants, which I also visited. So I started Horenzo Consulting. Why Horenzo? Horenzo is actually out of 3 Japanese words and describes a management style which is very common in Japan, and basically to see a problem, to act on a problem together as a team, the employees with the management. Also, again, why else Horenzo? I have lived in Japan, in Tokyo, for 2.5 years. I have also worked in Tokyo in Roppongi Hills Club, which is a business club in the middle of Tokyo. And also I actually discovered or had this management style live. At the same time also came my passion for tea. I rediscovered my passion for tea because I realized tea is not only a beverage in Japan, it's truly a culture. It brings nationality together. There is so much history, so much stories behind it. So from that moment on, I was actually hooked, and I worked then in a tea company in Germany as well. But that was not enough for me. So I wanted to know more. And I was actually participating as a student for 2 weeks at Obubu tea. Now, Obubu tea, I have some teas also here. Some of you might recognize the label. Obubu tea is a tea farm in Wasuka. Wasuka is a small tea village near Kyoto, Japan. And they're doing different courses. So you can go there for a day. You can go there for 2 weeks, which I was doing. You can do your internship there. And that was one of the most tea-tastic experiences. I spent 2 weeks with other people from all over the world. We were harvesting our own tea. We were working in the tea field, and we were making our own tea. We were studying. So, and we were actually the last ones being live in Japan. So this year it was of course not possible. So we had a unique experience. And from then I was hooked. So to do the second cocktail, which I want to do, I actually have 2 teas today. I have Darjeeling, sent over from Darjeeling tea leaves, and white tea. And of course I have green tea from Japan. So second tea which I want to do is actually a mojito. Now, who doesn't love mojito? I do, hands up, I think everybody does. I'm doing mine also a little bit different once again. I'm actually using a typical Moscow Mule. And then it's basically the regular ingredients. So you do have some lime, which you're just dropping. Yes, by the way, I'm not using any gloves. I'm in my own surrounding. Of course, if I would do that with clients, I would use gloves. Then I'm actually using some nice ginger as well. And then what I have, let me just grab over. So I do have some basil, so a little bit different. So the best way how to cut basil is you roll it like a cigar. Let me just make some space so you can see that. So you're rolling it like a cigar, very nice and tight. And then it's actually easy to cut it. Just a moment, just my rolling does not work today. So there you go with the basil and some mint leaves. Now, season is over. However, I have in my garden, I have mint, which is about that high. So I have it dried. So you still have a wonderful flavor. And then you just have your wooden thing to mash it. Or actually how it's called in English, but that's okay. So you just crush it a little bit. Crush it, crush it, crush it. And what you also can add is some honey, which I actually forgot today, or I'm using a little bit elderflower syrup just for the taste. And it's really just a little bit, so not even 1 cl. I actually do not like to use sugar in my cocktails, so I either do the syrup myself or I work with honey. So what else do we need? So of course we need some tea, and I'm actually using a wonderful white tea. Once again, this one has been sent over from Darjeeling tea leaves. So as you know, white tea, very special, hard to come by. It is more delicate because of the way how it's harvested, and that it's just basically steamed very quickly for a very short time. And I like about the white tea that you still see kind of like the silver needles. So the tea is a little bit green. However, you also have some white spots, and you can really see how special this tea is. And so I'm just adding some green tea. Good. Now, again, what do we need? We need some alcohol. So I have some rum. I'm actually using dark rum, not white rum. I just like the flavor better of dark rum. So we're adding the dark rum, or if you like to, the white rum. And to top it up, you have some mineral water, or you can also use a tonic water. What I liked when I was in Japan, there were many bars which actually had their own tonic water. There you go. So you have that. And just as a decoration, you can use still some lime, which I have. And since I have some cucumber here, you can also use some cucumber. And you know it, of course, sprinkle a little bit tea over it, or also as a decoration. And you have your next cocktail. And that would be a mojito with white tea. And of course, I just realized something. Of course, we need some ice as well. So I have some beautiful round ice balls. So let me add that. Of course, that was the missing point. There you go. And what you also can do, you can, before you freeze the ice balls or the ice cubes, you can put some basil, some mint leaves, some fruits. So you just have also a nice decoration in the ice as well. Yeah, very, very nice. So let me put that right here so you can see it a little bit. So then before we go on with the next one, because I can see I still have a little bit time. So how do I get into tea? I explained that it was my time in Japan, and also my time during Obubu Master Tea course. And then for me, it was always very important. So how can I, everything which has to do with tea, how can I put that into my consulting? Because I'm coaching hotels and restaurants, right? So for me, tea has to do about stories, about bringing people together. Look at what is happening now at Noma Tea Festival, which so many people are actively participating. So bringing people together, but also for me, tea is about stories. It's about perfection, constant learning, attention to detail, great knowledge, and also it's a beauty, right? If you're serving tea, there's always a beauty in it. You have some patience. You're not rushing it, and all that. What is in a cup of tea is actually in my concepts of Horenzo Consulting. So I also want to bring people, which I'm coaching in hotels, that you can have patience, you can have attention to detail, perfection. You can actually bring a great joy to people in hotels. So that's why I actually combining now my tea passion with my passion for hotels and restaurants and people. So coming to the third cocktail, funny story for me actually. All of a sudden I was in touch with some Olympic athletes, and so we were chatting a little bit what we are doing, and I said, hey, I like to present to you some iced teas. What are you looking for, like in teas? The only answer what I got was no sugar or less sugar. I said, okay, you have to give me a little bit more challenge. I'm a tea person. Fact is, most iced teas which you can buy in supermarket stores are not really made out of tea, and there's always sugar in it. So it seems to be that it's not possible to do an iced tea or tea cocktail without sugar. Yes, it is, because we have thousands of flavors in tea. So that was my challenge. I had to dig deeper and I had to look into it. What are actually also the fruits and the vegetables which push Olympic athletes, because they're on a different level, right? So I was recreating some drinks, and one I want to show you today. So I'm using actually a wine glass for that one. So, and also, let's not forget this time the ice cube. Just drop that. So when I researched what is actually helping athletes and pushing them, and it's very healthy and has a lot of goodness inside, is, for example, beetroot, which doesn't want to come out right now. So you have that. So the blood pressure stays in check. It's very healthy. It has a lot of vitamins. So beetroot is really, if you are an athlete, just wonderful. And then for this one, let me put this away. I'm actually, well, you can use any green tea. I'm using actually a spring sun sencha because it has very young tea buds. Once again, this is from Obubu Tea. You can also use gyokuro. It has the best umami taste and also just all what a sports person need. So once again, my tea looks a little bit different because I brewed it, less water, more tea. So I'm just pouring. So you already have a mixture of the beetroot and the tea. And then I'm topping that with grapefruit. So you have the vitamin C kick and also some ginger. And again, you can decorate that nicely, of course. So, and what you're also putting on top of it is some more red beet juice, just to top up your glass. And just for some decoration. And of course, never forget, always, hopla, well, always put some tea over your drink to have the right decoration. And I'm using a bamboo straw. It unfortunately fell in. So there you have it. You have green tea, preferably Yakuru. You have red beet juice, fresh red beet, grapefruit, ginger, and with that you have a vitamin C kick. You don't need to have any caffeine. You don't need to have coffee or espresso. Just before you start your sport in the morning or during the day, you actually can have a wonderful, nice kick, and you will notice how active you will be. And also at the same time, green tea is also known to lose weight and to really have a healthy benefit. So I'm not somebody for red beet. However, if you have that, because you have the very intense flavor of the red beet, and then at the back of it, you have the sweetness of the umami of the gyokuro, and the grapefruit makes it fresh. There is no sugar in it. And this is really, instead of having water during sports, which is always a little bit boring, just try this one. You have an energy kick, and I can guarantee you your sport will be at a different level. So that goes out to my Olympic athletes, and I'm happy that I could create the drink for them. So let's just put it there so you can see it a little bit. Now, the last one is actually one of my favorites. Also, it was developed for a 5-star hotel, just for a special occasion. So it is a little bit different. So I'm using a nice champagne glass. So you actually start off with cucumber. Just a moment. By the way, I learned this in Japan. I love that. Always have a napkin, a towel, or anything ready to go, just for your presentation. So you have some cucumber. Almost like a garden cocktail. You have 1 slice of lime. And then actually you having another green tea. This time I'm using actually also from Ubuntu Wind, which is sencha. So you're just dropping that in your glass. And what am I using as cocktail, as a spirit? I'm actually using sake. So let me just pour that a little bit. So I'm using sake. So, and this I think is a perfect combination. You have the sake and you also have a Japanese tea. And there you actually also have a little bit of elderflower. And what you also do, and I have to apologize because I just noticed I forgot to prepare it, but this is a live recording, so that's how it is. In this drink, you would actually put some olive oil, which is very unusual. However, the olive oil cuts through the sharpness of the sake and actually makes it a complete different experience. Once again, There's no sugar, there is no honey in it, just a little bit of elderflower. If you like to, you can also leave that out. However, this would be a very elegant drink, and you would not put any ice cubes in there. You would just leave it like that. And I would actually also not serve it with a straw, but just as an aperitif. Again, this is really not a sweet drink. I can taste it right now. Let me just stir it, just to have all the flavors in check. And let me just taste it again. So, a very refreshing tea cocktail because of the green tea, because of the sake and of the cucumber. So it's just perfect for a hot summer day if you really need something refreshing. So just to reflect on the 3 cocktails which we were doing, let me just also clear it up a little bit so we have just a clear picture. So in the beginning, unfortunately it's already a little bit melted, I was doing with tea from Darjeeling tea leaves, a tea cocktail with ice cream, so the maple nut ice cream with some Darjeeling, or you can also take some Assam. And if you want to make it a little bit more special, you put some schnapps, which I did, some German schnapps, so you have your tea cocktail. And that's just a combination between creaminess and the bitterness and the strongness of a tea. As a second tea, we did my healthy version for sports Olympic athletes, the red beet juice with grapefruit, and a white tea. Then we did my last one, the summer dream. You have sake, you have green tea, preferably sencha, and you have cucumber, a little bit lime, and a drizzle of olive oil and a little bit elderflower syrup. And also what we did, a mojito, my version. So you have a green tea right here, and of course the cucumber, the basil leaves, actually a very nice combination, and the mint, the ginger, honey or elderflower, and you top it up with a white or a dark rum, right? And that was the tea which I'm using. So once again, why am I doing that? For me, my fascination with tea was always paired with my love for cocktails. So I just love watching bartenders, mixologists when they create something new. And for me, I want to show the same with tea, actually. I'm still trying out. What I want to show you is that all what you do is you can do easily at home. That's important for me. You don't need to buy any fancy products, and you can buy all that very easily in your local store. You have it probably at home, because I think cucumber, ginger, honey, mint, most people do have at home. So it's quite easy. And otherwise, just be creative, just try it out. Tea is very forgiving. You can actually pair a lot of flavors with tea. Some go, some don't go, but you will find it out. And if you want to know more about tea cocktails, please contact me. I'm Susanne Lang from Horenzo Consulting. Enjoy the Noma Tea Festival.